Straight ahead on 12 News, taking the wraps off refurbished athletic fields in Golden Valley. Then, how businesses are teaming up with students for success. But first,
a touching tribute and a powerful display of patriotism today in Plymouth. I'll tell you about what these flags mean coming up.
hello everyone. 15 years ago, a school in Plymouth had just opened its doors for the first time when terrorists hijacked planes on 9/11.
Some of today's students were not even born yet. But as Eric Nelson reports today, they helped remember the victims in a special way.
It was a touching tribute and a powerful display of patriotism. Students at Providence Academy put on their annual 9/11 salute.
As a former serviceman, I am very much grateful.
Pretty emotional, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I have tears.
I mean, every flag represents a person.
Yes, it does.
These guys probably weren't even born, so for them to remember that and to take that into mind on a day like today, I'm really grateful.
There was a procession of Plymouth's first responders. Some solemn moments, and there were flags. A total of 2,996, one for each person lost.
Fantastic. That's it. That's just fantastic.
9/11 has deep meaning at Providence Academy. The school opened just 6 days before the terror attack.
For most of you, our students, the events of that day live only in the retelling. So let us retell them.
The goal at Providence is to focus on that bleak day and never forget what happened.
On September 11, 2001, a few men boarded airplanes in Boston and Washington, turned the airplanes into missiles, and made war on the United States.
Especially in the generations coming up, that they remember that this happened and that not only the lives were lost, but families were affected forever.
9/11, of course, was a game changer.
The airports changed forever and the community of trust was kind of lost, and this event helps bring back that trust and helps bring back that community.
It was a tough thing out there in New York. It's tough for America.
9/11 briefly galvanized the country, but now, 15 years later, things are more polarized.
We need to be proud and not be putting each other down.
And in Golden Valley, the Human Rights Commission there will host a National Day of Service and Remembrance on Sunday, September 11th. It starts at 9 a.m. at the Farmers Market in the Golden Valley City Hall parking lot. The event will encourage people to buy fresh produce to donate to PRISM in Golden Valley.
Italian Americans in the Twin Cities have been paying close attention to recovery efforts after a catastrophic earthquake in central Italy.
People are donating from all over, and what's happening is in this area of Italy, it's so historic. I mean, there are buildings that have existed since the 1400s.
Thursday night in Robbinsdale, people came together to raise money for the Italian Red Cross. Nonna Rosa's, the Italian Cultural Center, and Kaplan and Tamburino law firms sponsored the fundraiser, and they hope to raise $5,000 to help victims. If you would like to donate, you can visit the Italian Cultural Center website for a link to the GoFundMe page.
A few years ago, the fields near Sandburg School in Golden Valley were almost unusable. They hadn't been updated since the 1970s. Now, after almost 2 years of work, the upgrades are almost done. Golden Valley won a $325,000 Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant to turn old softball fields into multi-use fields for soccer or lacrosse. They updated bleachers, dugouts, fencing, and much more. Golden Valley used city services to stretch the grant money.
We were able to use our public works skills, utility department, street department, park department, and our golf maintenance department, and our engineering department to really come together and do a high percentage of this work without contracting it out. It taxed our staff quite a bit, but they are happy to do it. Instead of just fixing stuff all the time, they were able to build something.
And all those fields are expected to be in use this weekend.
Here's a heads up about a road closure in Brooklyn Center that's catching some drivers by surprise. A lot of vehicles are making U-turns after they roll up to the Xerxes Avenue Bridge over I-94. MnDOT crews started working on the road on Thursday. They're repairing bridge joints. This type of work is being done all over the metro. No word on how long Xerxes Avenue will be closed. Coming up, applying classroom learning to the real world.
And later in sports, one of the oldest high schools in the area honors some great former athletes.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Schools are designed to, of course, educate and prepare students for the real world.
But sometimes it's hard to grasp just how classroom learning will translate to careers. As Delane Cleveland reports, a new program at Wayzata High School hopes to change that.
Concurrent enrollment happens when you stay here.
It's a week of firsts at Wayzata High School. The first week of classes, the first week in a new building, and the first time that Wayzata is offering the Compass program.
We want students to have the feel that this is like going to a job, so it's a different look, it's a different feel, it's a different culture.
It's a culture to which students have to devote half their days and dress business casual. That's, of course, after they went through an application process to secure their spot here.
It was not as easy as typical signing up for a class and saying it's on your schedule.
It's a rigorous process because of how the students stand to benefit. The goal of Compass is to offer a different take on school by partnering with local businesses who can help shape the curriculum and mentor students in the process.
I never really saw the relevancy in some of my courses that I took in high school.
Dawn Johnson is a Compass instructor, and it's her mission to ensure that the juniors and seniors in this class don't share the same confusion as she once did.
We're going to make it a goal that every single thing we're teaching the students, we're showing it to them in the world outside of school.
One of the Wayzata students who stands to benefit is senior Tony Hughes.
As much experience as I can get is what I'd like. To be able to fully understand what I can get myself into through life, getting my foot in the door.
Hughes hopes to get into graphic design, and by being in this program, the hope is that he'll be able to narrow his focus once he graduates.
Definitely, I feel like it's going to set me far ahead other than other students that might be in the same degree I'm going for.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Always good to get an early head start on stuff like that. All right. Well, coming up, a way to unwind that will put a smile on your face this weekend.
But first, see how a local team honors the memory of Jacob Wetterling. John Jacobson has that coming up next in sports.
Ask any soccer parent and they'll tell you sometimes all it takes is one good goal.
One good goal, and that's it, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter when it comes. Park Center's boys soccer team eliminated Champlain Park in the Section 5 AA semifinals last season on their way to the state tournament. The Pirates and Rebels met up Thursday night at Champlain Park High School. Park Center gets a free kick 6 minutes into the match. Fouad Tahir sends the ball deep toward the Rebels' net. It comes to Clement Kamara, who scores. Great play by the Pirates, and they lead it 1-0. And it stays that way in part to some big stops by PC goalie Salvador Salado. He keeps the Rebels off the board. That first half goal holds up for a 1-0 Pirates win. In the girls' game, plenty of scoring as the Pirates were looking for their first win of the season. First half, Megan Dubois gets loose up the right side. She goes in and scores, and Park Center has a 1-0 lead. After the Rebels had tied it on a penalty kick, Katie Hayes with a great through ball ahead to Alex Lott, and she'll go in to score, and Champlain Park leads 2-1. Park Center comes back, still in the first half. Ball gets free deep in the Rebels' end, and Simonette puts the loose ball away for a goal. The Pirates tie the match 2-2.
Thank you very much.
Same score in the second half. Lotz goes to work again, and that's her third goal of the match. Champlain Park wins its second straight. They beat Park Center 4-2. The sad and tragic news of Jacob Wetterling this past week touched a lot of Minnesotans. Girls from a local high school soccer team, all born years after Jacob went missing, found a way to honor him Thursday night. The Park Center girls wore a special number to honor the Wetterling family in their game against the Rebels. Pirates wrote number 11 on their wrists and for the goalkeepers on their cheeks to remember Jacob Wetterling.
You know, I was looking on Facebook and I saw that there was a picture of Jacob Wetterling in a soccer uniform, and it said, you know, that he played soccer and he was number 11 and stuff. And I read that story and it hit me to the core. I texted a bunch of the girls last night and said, what can we do? What can we do? Can we write numbers on our shoes or whatever? So they said, well, let's write numbers on our cheeks and our arms.
A nice tribute. The annual Bauman Round Cross Country Invitational is named after longtime Hopkins coaches Ed Bauman and Jim Brown. Thursday, the Royals hosted the big early season meet at Gale Woods Farm. It's a great finish in the boys' race. Hopkins' Seth Eliason, Minnetonka's Matt Wilkinson battling the finish with Eliason gutting out the win. The Royals' Paul Weiler takes 6th place here with a late kick. Minnetonka wins the team title with Hopkins second. In the girls' race on the muddy course, Chanhass's Anastasia Korzanowski is the runaway winner. She's followed by a trio of Wilmore runners as the Cardinals win the team title. Our top local finishers are Hopkins' Renee Anderson and Elizabeth Klecker. They take 7th and 8th respectively, and the Royals finish 5th as a team. Now to volleyball, where Hopkins figures to be improved from their team a year ago that reached the state tournament. Highlights from their home match against Roseville. Pick it up late in set 2. Hopkins' Jasmine Martin with the kill for a 23-16 Royals lead. Then on set point, Greta Werner puts it down for the Royals, and they go up 2-0. In set 3, Aaron Beer and Olivia Garvey team up for Roseville for the block. Score is tight throughout this set. Martin, though, gives the Royals a 22-19 lead with another big kill. They go on to win 25-21, and they sweep Roseville. Hopkins is now 5-0 this season. Later this month, both Breck School and Osseo High School honor former coaches, athletes, and teams at Hall of Fame ceremonies. Thursday, a high school that closed its doors 34 years ago honored 6 former athletes and coaches. And 1 coach. Robbinsdale High School closed in the spring of 1982. But Thursday afternoon, I was fortunate enough to co-host, along with my high school classmate, Wally Langfellow, the Robbinsdale High School Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. The Hall of Fame didn't start until 2013, and now 26 former Robin athletes and coaches have been honored. 2016 inductees included Doug Rolstead, John Knoxheim, Jim Wheeler, Larry Hennig, Pete Hayek, Bill Krantz, along with Coach Red Sahaki. Robbinsdale grads are also invited to the All Wings reunion party, which also includes Armstrong and Cooper grads as well, the night of October 22nd at the Medina Ballroom. But all of those people, their families, talked about how much their days at Robbinsdale High School meant to them. It was a lot of fun.
Neat to honor them as well. Thanks so much, John. Now to local vote 2016 in Senate District 44. That's in Plymouth and Minnetonka.
It's a run to replace Terry Bonoff, who is running for Congress instead. Democrat Deb Calvert is facing Republican Paul Anderson in what is expected to be a close race.
Hi, I'm Paul Anderson, and I'm running for the state Senate to serve you, the families, businesses, and communities of Senate District 44. I've spent nearly my entire life in this area, growing up in Plymouth and graduating from Wayzata High School, where I met my wife, Jamie. It's here where we've chosen to live, raise our daughters, and actively serve others in the community. I previously served as District Director for Congressman Jim Ramstad, and later as Deputy Chief of Staff for Governor Tim Pawlenty. Today, I own my own business after executive roles in the private and nonprofit sectors. These experiences have prepared me to hit the ground running and serve you at the Capitol. I'm ready to lead the way I've always done, with honesty and integrity. If you're looking for homegrown experience, hard work, and common sense leadership, I ask for your vote on November 8th. You can learn more about me and my campaign at andersonforsenate.org. Thank you.
I'm Deb Calvert, and I'm running to be your next state senator because this election is about finding real solutions for real people, and not the politics of division. That's why I have Republican former Minnetonka Mayor Karen Anderson and former DFL Senator Steve Kelly as my campaign co-chairs. And that's why I'm talking to you, my neighbors in Plymouth, Minnetonka, and Woodland, about what's important: great schools, college that's affordable and accessible, safe communities, and an economy that works for everyone. I'm Deb Calvert, and I'm asking for your vote on November 8th because I want to be a state senator who works for you.
Up next, it is the weekend for a citywide celebration in Osseo.
We'll see what's on tap coming up in just a moment. The 40th anniversary of the Osseo Lions Roar is underway this weekend. The festival might be sponsored by the Osseo Lions Club, but many people pitch in to make it happen. Knights of Columbus were on hand this morning to set up the tents, and all the money raised goes to Lions projects.
It's great for the community, it's great for us. We get to come out in the community and have some fun and show the fun side of Lions. Yes, there's a lot of work at the beginning and at the end, but the middle, it is enjoyment.
Well, there are inflatables for the kids, bands, and beer for the adults on Friday and Saturday, and of course that parade rolls at noon on Saturday. Sometimes you just need a good laugh, and you can find it this weekend in New Hope.
That's right. Neil Persley explains in Weekend Showcase.
This weekend, you can unwind at the Cinema Grill in New Hope with stand-up comedian Tim Bedore.
And that whole Minnesota nice thing is true. You're the nicest people in America. In fact, you're too nice. You are too nice. Four-way stops put you people into a brain freeze.
He spent time with the likes of Leno and Seinfeld, but his lovely wife is a Minnesotan, and so it's here Tim and family reside.
Any Amish tonight? An escaped Amish. You know the Amish, the horse and buggy people? Do you know how the Amish hunt? They sneak up on a deer and build a barn around it.
I asked him where he gets the ideas for his material.
Where do I get my ideas?
Yeah.
That.
Oh.
That goes with me everywhere.
Tim grew up in Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Town, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Nice town, not a cultural hub. An idea about Stevens Point, my high school fight chair was in fact Usasa, hit him in the head with a kielbasa, and that's true.
He describes his show as PG-13, PG-16.
I don't swear. I don't think in 30 plus years I've ever sworn on stage. To me, it's like cheating at golf. Hey, did you see this in the paper today? Celery has negative calories. Celery has negative calories. It takes more energy to chew it than the food contains. And I was thinking about this. If you ate 30 pounds of celery for 7 days in a row, you could disappear.
He's a funny guy, and an evening spent with Tim Bedore at the Cinema Grill would leave you a little lighter of heart. For Weekend Showcase from New Hope, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
And Tim Bedore is live at the Cinema Grill on Saturday. Looks like a good show.
You gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh, that's right. That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Have a good weekend, and we'll see you back here again Monday.